It is July 2026 in New Delhi, and a 59-year-old man is lying on a medical cot under the blistering summer sun. He has been on an indefinite hunger strike for 18 days straight. His body is rapidly deteriorating. He's lost nearly 9 kilograms, surviving on absolutely nothing but small sips of salt water. His vitals have dropped to a level that requires around-the-clock medical supervision, though attending doctors note his mind remains sharply alert. When someone pushes their body to the absolute brink of starvation, it bypasses ordinary political theater. It sends a clear message that the issues driving this protest are a matter of survival. This man is Sonam Wangchuk. Seeing him in this fragile condition is striking because he is one of India's most celebrated minds, an acclaimed engineer and recipient of the prestigious Ramon Magsaysay Award. He is such a prominent cultural figure that his life actually inspired the character of Sonam Wangchuk in the blockbuster film 3 Idiots. Back in the arid Himalayan region of Ladakh, he invented ice stupas, massive artificial glaciers that freeze excess winter water so it can melt and irrigate crops during dry springs. A national icon who spends his life designing ingenious solutions to keep his community alive is now intentionally starving himself on the streets of the capital, demanding that the government listen. Before the engineering awards, Wangchuk was an education reformer. He founded the Sekmol campus to overhaul Ladakh's struggling school system and make learning deeply practical for local students. That lifelong dedication to students is exactly what drives his first major demand today, the immediate resignation of the union education minister. He is targeting Dharmender Pradhan, holding him accountable for the massive irregularities and paper leaks surrounding the 2026 NEET UG medical entrance exams. Millions of students rely on these exams to secure their futures. When the testing process is corrupted by leaked papers, the entire foundation of merit and trust in the education system collapses. For a man who spent decades building educational integrity from the ground up in the Himalayas, watching the national testing system fail so spectacularly is a complete betrayal of his life's work. But education is only half the battle. Ladakh is defined by a delicate, high-altitude ecology, and protecting that environment is his second core demand. He is urging the government to grant Ladakh constitutional safeguards, specifically asking for it to be included under the 6th Schedule. The 6th Schedule is a legal framework that grants tribal areas autonomous administrative powers. It allows local councils to manage their own land and natural resources, shielding them from unchecked external industrial development. The indigenous populations of Ladakh have sustained themselves in this harsh terrain for generations. Without legal authority over their own territory, their centuries-old heritage and agricultural practices are highly vulnerable to exploitation. This hunger strike is a last resort. Just last year, in 2025, Wangchuk was detained under the National Security Act simply for making these exact same peaceful demands. He has already engineered glaciers to save his region from drought. Now he is trying to legally engineer a protective shield to guarantee his homeland actually survives into the next century. Despite the severity of the fast, the union government has entirely refused to hold direct talks with the protesters. Education Minister Pradhan has firmly rejected any calls for his resignation. Yet the silence from the government is being met with a massive surge of public backing. Opposition politicians, student groups, and civil society organizations are rallying behind Wangchuk in growing numbers. What began as a localized plea for ecological protection and exam integrity has escalated into a high-stakes stress test, challenging whether modern democratic institutions will respond to a massive public outcry. The standoff is barreling toward a critical deadline, July 20th, 2026. Protesters have organized a massive march directly to Parliament, perfectly timed with the opening of the new monsoon session. Wangchuk has stated he intends to lead that march in person, but he has added a grim condition. He will only do it if his failing health permits him to stand. It forces a difficult reflection on the price of political accountability. We have to ask what it says about a system when one of its most brilliant minds is forced to slowly starve himself just to get his government to listen.